Each team has 24 minutes to present its case to the judges. The time of presentation will also be divided. The first 12 minutes of the presentation are considered as being protected, meaning that the judges cannot interrupt the team. The next 10 minutes are non-protected. The beginning of this period will be when the light turns on. When the notification will be on, I will turn on the light. The judges have the possibility of interrupting the presentation in order to ask questions of clarification of the subject presented at this moment. The judges will have to limit themselves to 15 seconds to ask his question. The team has to answer the question, but can then continue his presentation without waiting for the agreement of the judge. The judge can ask questions of a subject having already been covered or which has not been presented yet. These questions must be approached during the period of questions at the end of the presentation. The last 2 minutes of the presentation are meant to conclude the presentation and are free from questions of the judges. I will show board showing the remaining time when there will be 12 minutes, 7 minutes, 2 minutes, and 30 seconds left, and I will make the countdown of the last 10 seconds by using my hands. A period of question of a maximum duration of 5 minutes is assigned to the jury at the end of the presentation. I would like to remind the jury that it's mandatory to ask at least one question during this period. I will invite the judges to introduce themselves and then the team can begin.
Le plus beau commence.
I'm Stephanie Labland. I'm the Director of Production for the company EPM.
I've spent my life in international business, and I've been lecturing international business at university somewhere, and also in finance and in management.
Hi, Stéphane Alliard, R&D Director at EPM.
Jean Lessard, the Director of Continuous Improvement at APM.
My name is Nicolas Gagnon, and this is Development Manager at Expo.
Excellence means risking more than others think is safe, dreaming more than others think is practical, and striving for more than others think is possible. At APN, you value excellence overall, and we're so excited to be here today to help you secure your success not only for today, but for tomorrow. So let's jump right into why we are here and what we hope to accomplish today. My name is Lauren, this is my colleague Laura, and this is my colleague Greg, and together we are Altitude Consulting. So today you asked us to come up with a growth strategy by considering several different industries and geographical locations. No matter what recommendation we wish to pursue, we wanted to emphasize the fact that you must protect your 4 main pillars, the first one being your superior customer focus. The next one is your profitability. We can see that one of your main tenets is ensuring your financial health and pushing for aggressive growth. The third is the way that you value innovation, and you're always at the forefront when it comes to technology, and this allows you to become one of the leaders when it comes to aerospace production. Finally, you emphasize recruiting the best. You're not a company that hires someone with a 3.5 GPA. You're hiring people with a 4.3 GPA, and we think this is very important, and you also strive to make your employees better through employee development. So today we're excited to present to you our Vision 2020 by maintaining your culture of excellence. So Vision 2020 comes down to 2 different aspects. The first one being pushing for growth through acquisitions in Europe. The second part is, and actually what we find most exciting, opening up a completely new division to your company to focus on the Internet of Things, which you see as a great and very, very exciting opportunity. The three most important parts of our strategy is, first of all, focusing on very stringent acquisition criteria. You've pursued this strategy in California and it has been successful. And the second part is pushing for continuous development. We want you to continue improving and we want you to always stay at the forefront when it comes to technology. Third, we believe there's an opportunity for you to capitalize upon the other manufacturing industries, seeing as you have mastered the manufacturing process. Now I'll let Laura take you through some of the insights that guided us towards our overall recommendation today.
Thank you, Lauren.
What does success look like? Have you asked this question to yourselves?
Mm-hmm.
We really envisioned your future, and we really want you to be the worldwide leader, not only for manufacturing processes, but as well as technology. We want you to be the supplier of choice for aerospace parts around the world, and we want you to serve as a model for other companies such as yourself across the industries as well as geographies. So now, let's go into some key insights and really guide us towards where it took us to our overarching recommendation that Lauren presented to you before. So, the first thing we did when we got your case today is ask ourselves, who is APN? APN, they're perfectionists. No matter what you do, you always make sure to give that 110% and make sure that everything is flawless. And that has really guided you to success, not only in Canada, but as well as in the United States. You're innovators. You believe in always having the best technology across the globe, and you don't stop until you really reach the goal that you want that we presented. But most importantly, you're visionaries. You always see the future before it happens, and we really value that about you. So that made us really impressed when you presented us IoT, the Internet of Things. We found that only 10% of companies worldwide use the Internet of Things technologies, and you are a part of that 10% who's really seeing the future before it happens. What IoT is that it provides a clear picture of the system at hand and really gives a relationship between the employees with real data as well as historical data. It's really building that connection so all employees are on the same page. The industries that use this are engineer-to-order industries such as printed circuit boards as well as medical technology. We found that by 2017, this will be a $22 billion market, and by 2020, it will count for 60% of IT technologies across the globe. Now, IoT makes companies more efficient, more productive, and smarter, and this is what we want you to be in the long run. Now, we also saw that you visioned yourself where the action is. So you went to the United States because they do have the strongest military and they do spend the most military, and that has made you the leader in that industry. So you have made these really strategic alliances within California. But we did find that this industry and this market is very volatile in the United States, with a decrease from 1 to 1.9% annual growth from 5.8% in just 3 years. So this is very unsafe, and we believe that in order for you to strive and grow like we know you want to, it is contingent to have a viable expansion strategy somewhere else. And you also saw this as well. You went into France and you saw the vision before it happened, and you partnered with Excel Carbide in France. So Excel Carbide invested a lot of your time and financial resources, and we really appreciated that because you invested to gain knowledge about the market, so now you understand France, and you also understand the distribution process, as well as created relationships with this French company, which allows you to grow more relationships further on. We also noticed that the European aerospace industry is thriving, with a 4.8% annual growth within this industry, so this is amazing for you. So Europe's aerospace industry is the fastest growing in the world, and it shows no signs of them stopping. So we also know that you're not passionate about the Asian markets as well as Brazil. And we wanted to look more into this, and your gut feeling is right. According to the World Economic Forum, BRIC countries will not live up to the very positive expectations that everyone knows about. It is a popular belief that any industry will succeed in China or Russia or Brazil, or India, but we really saw that this isn't the case. So a lack of passion in combination with underwhelming statistics do not provide a strategically sound opportunity for you, and you saw this and felt this ahead of time. So now I'll pass it along to Lauren, who will discuss our recommendation.
So now let's jump into what exactly we are recommending for you today. So as I mentioned previously, the first step will be actually growing geographically into Europe, which I'll touch upon a bit more later. The second step will be actually opening up this IT division within your company, focusing on the Internet of Things that is expected to boom, as Laura mentioned, within the next few years. So we understand that you will have some questions coming up quite shortly, so we wanted to leave you with a presentation roadmap, just so you have an idea of where we're headed with our presentation. So after talking to you about the details of our geographical expansion into France, we'll be having a section on factory insights, which is basically the Internet of Things component of the business, and Greg will be speaking about that a bit later. Finally, we'll be explaining to you the financial implications of this strategic decision and the impact on your bottom line. So let's jump right into our acquisition. So as I spoke on before, when you ventured into California, you had some very strict decision criteria with your acquisitions, and we believe it's best to replicate this once more. We want to make sure that if you're spending the time and money to acquire a new plant, we want to make sure it's the absolute best plant for you. So we have some decision criteria that you should focus upon when going forward. So first of all, we did recommend that you venture into France because you have been working with a distributor there, you have developed some sort of network, and you have gained the experience and the knowledge about this particular country. So we believe this will serve as the perfect jump-off point for the rest of Europe, which is expected to grow for years to come. So the first point is the financial feasibility of this acquisition. We want to make sure that the company is valued correctly and will actually add value to your company. We want to ensure you're making very sound and strategic financial decisions, seeing as this is, of course, a big new venture. The second point is manufacturing synergies. We don't want to only ask what we can bring to this company, but what this company can bring to us. We want to make sure there's a fit in terms of our processes. Of course, we will be implementing our processes on their firm, but we want to make sure that we can gain from this relationship as well. The third point would be cultural fit. Your company is focused on excellence and perfection, and we want to make sure that we're working with a company that already houses very hard workers, the smartest workers, the best workers. We want to make sure there's a fit cultural-wise, so that just to mitigate any risks of clashes. The next step will be ensuring that they actually have the proper certifications and quality control procedures that we have in place. We want to be working with the best of the best who knows how to achieve the results that we expect. Finally, we'll be doing some backlog analysis. We want to see who these companies are working with, which is a strategy you did implement in California as well. We want to make sure that these people and these companies know how to work with the big players in the industry because these are the companies that we want to target in the long term. So how exactly will we go about this acquisition? So of course, the first step will be actually scouting out opportunities and engaging in contracts, keeping in mind our decision criteria. So this phase will take approximately a year. Of course, we want to leverage our relationship with your current partnership throughout. So we phase this part of our implementation into act, prepare, and next steps. So after leveraging our relationship with XL Carbide and making use of their contacts and their ecosystem within France and within Greater Europe, we want to start engaging and identifying our own potential clients. The next phase will actually be preparing to start production and operations. So we want to export best practices from Quebec into Europe because we know that you are the best at what you do and we want to see this exact model replicated in Europe. In order to ensure fit and to ensure a cohesive experience, we want to bring over a team of Quebec for a 3-month period to really get to know this new acquisition and for us to work well together and for them to understand our strategy, what's important to us, and how we do business. The third part will be, of course, continuously innovating. We want to make sure that we're always at the forefront when it comes to inventory management. We think you can do even better as you incorporate more technology and more big data into your daily operations. So of course we'll be consistently and continuously innovating with use of the IoT that Greg will speak upon quite shortly. So after we have gained a strong foothold in France over the course of the next few years, we do see opportunities for you in the rest of Europe. As mentioned before, this is the geographical location that we see the most opportunity for you. It is the fast growing and it is the one that you should focus your strategic assets and your time on. So the main countries that we do see opportunity in are the United Kingdom and Germany. These countries were chosen for the number of graduates in engineering that graduate every single year, for their expertise and their know-how in the aerospace industry, and just how well the industry is doing well in this area. We want to see high growth rates and we want to see a high level of knowledge and expertise to ensure that quality is maintained across our operations across Europe.
So, let's talk about the Internet of Things with the new division of APN that we will call Factory Insights. So moving on. Currently, you have one division, assuming one division of the APN, and under APN, you have the aerospace manufacturing. You've been doing well, and that is the division that allowed you to grow and succeed from the year of when you incorporated to today. But as of today, with the decisions you made in the past years of always being at the forefront of technology, you have allowed yourself to expand and maybe give yourself the ability to license the software you built for yourself and export it to new companies in order to gain revenues from it and also, well, share your insights, make money out of it, and really build a community for the manufacturing processes around the world. So,
Question?
yes.
Well, I was waiting a little bit, but your presentation is quite clear to go focus the growth in Europe, especially in France and UK and the other countries. It's not clear to me if you propose to do an acquisition or just developing the market by distributorship and sales directly and those products to be made in Quebec. What's your point about that?
Okay, my point about that is that we're definitely going for an acquisition in France within the next 12 to 18 months. And how is this acquisition going to take place? Well, according to the knowledge you gain from Excel, you'll be able to leverage your knowledge, make sure that you have the positioning in place, and from there, by evaluating the companies, going into backlog, going for prospects, you'll be able to acquire a company and get your feet into the European market. From there, you'll be able to develop the APN software, which is called...
Just another question.
Yeah, sure.
Then you gave me the information that your recommendation will be to acquire a company in France.
Yes.
What about UK? When we know that the engines are made there by Rolls-Royce or other company?
Yeah, okay. Well, regarding the UK market, in the last years, we've seen a decrease in spendings with base systems, for example, and we don't think that APN has the knowledge right now, as of today, to get into the UK market. You just got into France a year ago. We want to leverage that market, make sure that you understand it. You will have contacts. I'm sure you have currently. You have the ability to be in communication with Airbus, which is one of the best, EADS with all of their division, and from there, France, and then in the longer term, as France captures its growth, you make money out of it, you'll be able to think Germany, you think UK, but we will see how it goes in the years to come.
Thank you.
So, moving on to the Factory Insight software, leading the way leading the way in the best manufacturing processes. That's the mentality, that's the value proposition that you can bring to the table and allow other companies to benefit from. And as the other companies will benefit from it, you also will see your bottom line grow. So, how does the Factory Insights commercialization plan will take place? First of all, the team. You have small, medium businesses starting to become medium, big business, and we see as of today, since the software has already been developed, a team of 5 taking care of the commercialization. So, as of today, the software is working in your factory, and we want to make sure that the idea of commercializing it takes place. What does that mean? It means A/B testing it. It means making sure that we have the alpha implementation, going through different stations on the job shop, making sure that your machines work with the software and that you're able to collect the data you want from it. Once the A/B test and the alpha implementation is secure, we'll be able to move on, but in the slides coming. As the A/B testing and the team starts to work together, we want to make sure that a business plan is made out of it. We want to make sure that there's market research. Having done a bit of research,
Excuse my ignorance. What is A/B testing and alpha implementation?
Yes, exactly. So A/B testing means, for example, you'll test one feature of your software, feature A on a software on a machine, and then you'll test feature A, but in a different way. So that way you'll see how the machine reacts, and from the A/B test, you'll be able to choose the best option from A or B. So it's feeding one process with 2 options, and there you choose the best option. to make clear. Thank you.
What about the alpha?
Yeah, alpha test is, since the project has been built only in the company APN right now, we want to make sure that it is able to go through commercialization. So alpha is the basic test. I am assuming that some tests have been done because APN is using it, but in order to commercialize it, some more tests will have to be done, and the alpha is a synonym of first test, like the basic ones. Yeah. So the business plan, making sure that the market research is there. There's a lot of competition in the ERP, PLM softwares, supply chains, modules, everything, and we want to make sure that you are able to price your module accordingly. After doing some market research, we found out that $9,000 per user would be a correct price, starting price, and this software would be sold as a standalone. What does that mean? The standalone would be able to integrate with ERPs used in other companies. Why are we going that way? Because we don't want to start developing a full-scale ERP. Because if we develop full-scale ERP, it means finance, accounting, supply chain management, and it's too big for a company that, you're not software, you're manufacturing, and we're trying to make sure that you're able to bring your vision and share it with the world and profit from it. Finally, the financial funding. How does that work? Well, you've been chosen in the last years to have access to a $150 million fund, which is shared between 30 companies. So making the maths, it happened to be that I assume $5 million was accorded to APN, and I want to make sure that since these funds are specially designed for business development, well, Internet of Things, Factory Insights fits into that description, and want to make sure that the 5 million use goes toward this. Moving on, commercialization phase. So once the tests are done, you'll be able to get on the market and make money out of it. So where do we start? We start with Canada, Montreal, Quebec, Montreal, and the United States. Having some little groups at first, making sure that you're always in communication with clients, improving the features, and getting the minimum viable product, which is making sure that all the little features are there, and from there we'll be able to add features. We don't want to come in with full features and maybe lose ourselves in it. We want to make sure that it's a small step at a time, and we add on according to what the clients really want. Finally, building a community. Well, as the company grows, as you gain more and more customers in that field, we want to make sure that there's a community that gets built. You have so much knowledge in terms of lean manufacturing. You have a director of continuous improvement, which is actually amazing in terms of manufacturing trends, and we are confident that you are able to take this knowledge, export it, and profit from it. And by building a community, well, APN will just shine throughout the market it is in. So, moving on to the financial implications of these projects. Regarding the budget, well, the French expansion. How did I go about it? I went for the acquisition team, $100K because it will be an internal team. The salaries are already accounted for the EPN, so I accounted $100,000 more in terms of traveling, in terms of additional time, additional hours. Then we went on to the HR, sending a team of Quebec represented to France, $2 million for 3 months, and then moving on to the sales and the 500K, which will be allocated in the first year, so that would be in 18 months, in order to push the sales at front and make sure that your distribution channels and with suppliers and clients gets started properly. Regarding the acquisition budget, well, for me, it was about taking a huge assumption. In fact, having 12 million in revenues, I told myself, okay, well, 10 million acquisition would probably allow you to leverage your company as well, get a company around $20–30 million, because I didn't want to put APN into financial problems. So I went with 10 million acquisition budget. It will probably allow you to get a company with ISO 9001, and that is up to date in terms of technologies. That being said, regarding the IoT software, well, marketing. It will be on the side, the IoT software that we are planning to sell is a division, and it's not the same mentality, I would say, as the APN in terms of branding and marketing. landing page for the software, making sure that when other manufacturing companies look for the best practices online, they find factoring sites. And that's where I want to go. That's the mentality I want to push forward.
Question?
Yes.
Do you recommend to go with the IoT pretty much everywhere we do business, meaning Canada, USA, and Europe with Excel Carbide, or you recommend to go alpha with a specific region?
Oh yeah, the alpha test, actually the first 2 years, I recommend going to Canada and the United States. Canada first, United States after. After the third year, now it's time to go to Europe and link it with the acquisition you will have made in France and link it with your ongoing projects. So, regarding the financial goals, what is Vision 2021? After 5 years, you'll be able to reach 25 million revenues. What's the breakdown? Well, it's $18 million comes from your aerospace manufacturing and $7 million comes from the IoT software sales. Then, employee satisfaction, always making sure that your ongoing evaluation. And finally, market share in Europe. Out of the $5 million market you gave us, 60%, $3 million goes to you. So
APN's vision of development, superior technology, and commitment to excellence has fueled your outstanding success in Canada and the States.
However, continued success is dependent upon a clear growth strategy that anticipates future opportunities.
the growing aerospace industry is one that APN should strive and will capitalize upon in the future.
A manufacturing industry that also demands better processes that you actually have to offer also presents a significant opportunity to your company.
By growing within Europe and capitalizing upon your Internet of Things knowledge, APN will be positioned for future growth.
So with that, we believe you're in a perfect position to capitalize and to capture future excellence. With that, we would like to thank you so much for your time. We open the floor to questions.
Thank you. Question again. That's right. You nailed the fact that we are quite very efficient in aeronautics. That's one of your two-ed strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I love the IoT thing that we told you about that. That's a great mapping you did. My question is that I never heard any kind of a medical recommendation, and I think you know that our Southern California division do that in the US. What's your point about that?
So we didn't focus on the medical aspect because right now, of course, you are experts in aeronautical. But what we were trying to hint at here is there are various different industries that you can capitalize upon. So with the IoT, you can start serving different kinds of manufacturing, be it medical, be it anything else in the world. So we still believe there's opportunities for you to continue focusing.
Je vais dire en français parce que je suis dans l'émotion. Alors, j'ai été très ébloui par vos connaissances individuelles, votre brio. On dirait des étudiants au MBA, ou peut-être pas au doctorat, mais pas loin. Alors, j'ai pris plein de notes, j'ai appris plein de choses de vous autres. Ma question, c'est concernant le risque d'entreprise. C'est une entreprise qui dessert des manufacturiers, qui eux manufacturent des avions, puis des consommateurs qui décident, ou les militaires qui décident d'en acheter des avions militaires. Est-ce que vous pensez que c'est une entreprise dont les ventes peuvent être très volatiles? Est-ce que vous pensez que le risque d'entreprise, pas financier, peut être élevé?
Non. En fait, là je réponds en français.
Oh, oui.
En fait, ce qui se passe, c'est que, comme c'est écrit l'information que vous avez donnée, les contrats, de ce que j'ai compris, sont sur du long terme. Donc, une fois que les contrats sont signés, on a 25 ans, 20 ans, 15 ans de revenus qui sont, en fait, si on peut dire, gelés, à moins qu'il y ait une perte totale du côté des PN. Mais vu les best practices que vous avez depuis les années, la réputation que vous avez, je ne pense pas que vos revenus soient volatiles. Et le risque d'entreprise, évidemment, en se lançant dans le IoT, ça ouvre une autre branche de risque, mais ça ne met sous aucun cas ce que vous avez déjà dans la poche en danger.
Je n'aurais pas fait mieux comme réponse.
Et pour le financement, qui vous voyez qui pourrait investir dans tel?
Bon, au niveau IoT, comme je dis, il y a 5 millions qui a été débloqué il y a 1 ou 2 ans, j'imagine, avec Québec. Ça, d'après moi, ça vous permet de mettre ce software en place et de garder 100% de la part. Avoir quelques connaissances dans le software, je me dis que 5 millions, c'est vraiment suffisant du fait que le software a déjà été développé et fonctionne dans vos manufactures. Et pour moi, c'est ce qui fait vraiment la ligne, c'est que le software a été développé chez vous et vous pouvez vraiment le garder à l'interne et là commencer à le commercialiser avec un funding de 5 millions. Maintenant, phase 2 sur l'acquisition française. Qui peut investir? Est-ce que vous avez les capacités? Sûrement, peut-être le gouvernement aussi, vu votre position dans l'industrie militaire. Il y a peut-être moyen d'aller chercher des bourses ou du funding. Sinon, malheureusement, je pense que, de ce que vous m'avez dit, le vibe que j'ai, c'est que vous avez les finances. Vous avez la finance pour aller chercher 10 millions de votre part en équité. Après ça, pour plus, malheureusement, je ne peux pas nécessairement vous répondre, mais je suis totalement confiant que vous avez les possibilités d'aller en France suite à ce qui s'est passé avec Excel.
Est-ce que vous pensez que le taux de change va être restrainer dans les compagnies?
Mais, en ce moment, avec le taux canadien qui est assez bas, ça vous aide sur les exportations. Par contre, si vous commencez à aller faire du business en Europe, les premières années la première année sera un peu plus difficile. Par contre, du moment que vous allez commencer à ramener des revenus en euros au Canada, il y aura même vous allez faire de l'argent en ramenant les euros ici. Donc oui, le taux de change peut toujours avoir un impact. Par contre, vu la situation canadienne dans les 2 prochaines années, je pense que ça devrait rester relativement bas par rapport aux US. Donc vous êtes dans une position que vous connaissez. En ce moment, vous l'avez vécu, puis je ne vois pas pourquoi la currency deviendrait tout à coup un problème.
Je n'ai pas d'autres questions.
Super.
Ouais, merci beaucoup.
Ça me intéresse vraiment aujourd'hui.
Merci beaucoup.
Félicitations.
Merci.
Félicitations.
Merci.
Félicitations.
Merci.